Welcome into Your Health, and we have Dr. Porcia Love with us today at the River Region Dermatology and Laser Clinic here.
Yes.
And it's so great to talk to you because you're teaching us things that we need to know. And especially those of us who are a little bit older, who basically got out in the sun and didn't know any better.
Yes.
But we're going to talk today about as you age, your skin changes, and you have things that come up on your skin or
Yes.
things that weren't there before. And let's talk about what we really need to take a good look at, the different things.
Okay. Well, one of the most common things we see as you get older, and if you've had a lot of sun, sometimes you'll get red scaly spots on your skin. They can come up on your face, they can come up on your arms, they can come up on your hands. And so I have patients come in and say, I have this little spot on my face and I put, oil on it, lotion, and it's not getting better. Those are called actinic keratoses, and they are actually precancers.
Okay.
And so we treat them here just to prevent them from going on to skin cancer. Another spot you might see is a brown flat spot. They can occur on the face, the arms, and the hands. Those are called lentigines. They are from the sun, and typically they have no cancerous potential. Now, there are some that occur that if, they're isolated, if they're one spot and it's getting really darker and flat, but it's just getting darker, let your doctor take a look at it because sometimes those can change into a skin cancer. I have several people that come into my office with these brown crusty moles that can occur on the back, underneath the bra in women, even on the face. Those are seborrheic keratoses, and they're completely benign. They don't have any cancerous potential, but if something is bleeding and you're worried about it, you can let your doctor look at it and tell you whether or not it's something to worry about. So those are the more common things that we see from the sun, but there are some things that aren't as common that could potentially be a skin cancer.
How do we know, or can we tell just to look at something that we have on our skin? There are different types of skin cancer.
Yes.
Could you explain that to us?
Yes, there are three main types of skin cancer. The first is basal cell cancer, and it actually is the most common form of cancer, period. They occur in sun-exposed areas like the scalp, the face, the neck, the arms, and the hands. They usually occur in people who've had a lot of sun exposure, and they can look like a little red bump. A lot of times, if you're older and you come in, I've got this acne bump that won't heal, or this bleeding bump that won't heal, we'll biopsy it and it will be a skin cancer. So if there is something that looks like a little red bump that's bleeding or not getting better, let your doctor look at it because it may be a basal cell cancer. Squamous cell cancers can look similar, red bump, or they can be a little flat, red and scaly, and so you need to sample that. And squamous cell is the second most common form of skin cancers, and basal cell and squamous typically don't spread to other organs. And then you have melanoma, which is the third form. It does have a higher tendency to spread. Melanomas can look like a brown or dark brown or black spot, black mole that's usually flat. So people come in and say, oh, this mole is flat, it's not raised, I'm not going to worry about it. But a lot of melanomas are flat. And we have a criteria called the ABCDE criteria in dermatology, where we'll look at a mole and say if it's not perfectly round, or if the color is changing, it's not the same colors, it might be brown and red or blue and black. And if it's getting bigger than the head of a pencil eraser, that's something we check out. But those are all things that you look for with melanoma.
So you have two of those that are probably not going to spread.
Right.
You have melanoma, which you just don't mess with that at all.
Yeah,
in
you want to
layman's
get all of
terms.
them treated.
Right.
But melanoma is the one that if you're diagnosed with a melanoma, you're going to get more frequent skin checks. You might have to come in to see the dermatologist every 3 months for about a year, and then you'll go out to every 6 months. But there is a much higher tendency of those to spread to other organs. So they are more lethal, unfortunately.
I think the beautiful part, though, is, and what we're trying to teach our audience is prevention, Dr.
Yes,
Love,
yes,
prevention.
yes.
Because if you catch any of these things, including
The
melanoma,
melanoma, exactly.
if you catch them early, then you don't have to.
They can be treated.
That's right, and that's so important. There's one other topic we want to really quickly get into. So many people go to tanning beds,
Yes.
and I don't hear anything good about that. Could you
Yes.
give us some kind of
Yes.
professional guidance?
Unfortunately, tanning beds do increase your risk of skin cancer. The rates of basal cell cancer and melanoma in young women have increased by 75% over the last 20 years. And it's just the rates of basal cell cancer and melanoma are alarming. And so we do not recommend tanning beds. We don't recommend sunbathing at all. If you're going to sit out at the beach, get under an umbrella and wear a cover-up. But it's very sad because melanoma is a form of skin cancer that you can die from.
Right.
And I have young women that have died from melanoma. And so Alabama has actually passed a law where you do have to have parental consent if you're under the age of, I think it's 15, to go to a tanning bed. And I'm glad that law has passed, but I just want to get that message out that they are not good. They do increase your risk of skin cancer. And a lot of times young people don't think they can get, we're invincible. But when you see someone young that looks like you that has died from melanoma, then it changes quickly.
I do not want to see my grandchildren die from melanoma. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
You're
We
welcome.
just appreciate it, and we're going to try to prevent those things. Thanks for being with us, and we'll be right back.